And I don't think it's about how much money you have, the house you have. It's, are you strong enough to believe in yourself that you can raise this child? That no matter what anyone says to you, you can do the best by your child. And that takes a lot of inner strength. So I think I've become more confident as a man. I've believed in myself more. And I think I love myself more too. Imagine being a single father, navigating life's challenges while nurturing the future. The Dad Project tells these stories of strength, sacrifice, and unbreakable bonds. In season 1, we dive into the voices of single fathers of colour, capturing their victories and their struggles. It's time to recognise their impact, break down the stigma, and celebrate the powerful truth of fatherhood. Join me, your host, Naroop, on this inspiring journey.
So Naroop, super exciting day today, day 1 of our Dads Project. You're actually going to be interviewing the dads today, but who's going to interview you? It's me. I want to know your journey. Being a single father, I know it's something you never expected in a million years, but you've embraced it. You take amazing pride in it. Tell me your story, tell me your journey. What's it been like?
It's been difficult. I think any single parent in general who says it's easy is probably not telling the truth. There are a lot of adjustments that you have to make being a single parent. There's a sense of guilt that this child may not live the full life as other parents who have got parents who are still together. That is in itself a challenge. I think every parent may deal with that in their own way, but most parents I know want to do the best for their kids. And so you have this kind of battle between, you don't want to spoil them, but then also the time that you have with them, you treasure so much. And so you want to give everything. So I think that is something I've personally had to contend with, is how do I raise my daughter with good values and morals, but yet I just want to give her everything because I've only got one child. So that's difficult, but I think I've managed to strike a balance. I've also learnt and adjusted to know that I am enough. I think there's always that fear that, am I doing enough for my child? Am I enough for them? And I think I've come to the realization that I am, which I think is really important.
Let me ask you a question. Before your single fatherhood journey began, what do you think enabled you and equipped you to deal with this? You know, what had you worked on yourself before? Were there things that you'd learned and things that you'd put in place that have allowed you to thrive?
Yeah, I think we're all products of our own personal childhood. And so my parents did a great job in giving me, my brother, everything that we could have wanted. Went to private school. We were never without, you know, the latest trainers or games consoles or holidays. And so I've got great role models. And so when it came to raising Lara, my daughter, I knew I had a standard that I wanted to at least hit or even surpass. So, you know, I've always got this thing that I want to send my daughter to private school. And it's not because there's anything wrong with state schools, there's not, but I was offered that luxury of going to private school, and I feel that I at least need to give her that. And so there's that, my upbringing I think was solid, it was strong, I had great role models, I knew what love was and commitment. And so I've always raised Lara that way. Now being single, I don't think anything should really change. I always took great responsibility of her. I never just said, okay, your mother can do that. I wanted to do it. I wanted to change her nappies. I take great pride in knowing that I changed her first nappy. I take great pride in knowing that I was the first one, apart from the nurse or the doctor, to hold her. And that's something that no one could really take away. So these things, I think, equip me to be the father that I am now.
What would you say you've learned most about yourself through this process these last couple of years?
That's a very good question. What I've learned most about myself is I'm stronger than I think. And the confidence and self-belief is the most important thing we can have. And especially for me as a man, I need to know that I can do everything that my daughter needs, because raising a daughter and raising a son is two different things. I could relate to what a son needs. We can go and kick a football. I could probably do certain things which I know that I would want to do when I was young. But raising a daughter means I have to be a bit more sensitive. I have to understand her needs. She's constantly changing, and I have to be able to keep up with that. I have to be okay with the fact that, you know, now she wants to hang with her friends a bit more, and then she wants her FaceTimes with her friends, and, you know, when she gets close to school gate, she's like, Dada, no, don't hold my hand now. I have to be okay with that. It's not her rejecting me. It's just the understanding that she's becoming her own individual as well. And whereas I may have had her mother to speak to about that, and there are others in my life I can talk to now too, but I have to comfort myself, which I think does give you strength. But as a man raising her and knowing that I am her male role model in her life, I have no choice but to be confident and self-aware and the best version of myself, which I think is really empowering, because I can't let myself slip. If I doubt myself, then I've lost it all. And I don't think it's about how much money you have, the house you have. It's, are you strong enough to believe in yourself that you can raise this child? That no matter what anyone says to you, you can do the best by your child. And that takes a lot of inner strength. So I think I've become more confident as a man. I've believed in myself more. And I think I love myself more too.
It's really interesting. You've obviously spent time reflecting about the past, dealing with the present, but also thinking about the future. Yesterday I was having lunch at your house and I was looking at your vision board. Tell me about your vision board.
Yeah, my vision board. On my vision board, I've got obviously raising Lara the best I can. I've got growing our businesses, scaling them up. I've got the offices that we want to get, because we've moved out of our studio. So we want offices for our growing team. I've got how I want my love in my life to look. Focusing more on myself, you know, making sure I continue to take care of my body. Health is number one, because without health, then everything else goes. So these are the kind of visions I've got for the future. And, you know, in order for me to give to the ones I love, I have to first give to myself. And then through myself, I can give to others.
It said be more grateful on there, which I thought was beautiful, because we can all beat ourselves up in life, and we can all stress and we can all worry. But I bet you've started to really enjoy the simple things in life a lot more, as well as having this hunger and ambition. I know you're happiest when you're in the park with Lara on a sunny day. It's beautiful, right?
I'm definitely more grateful, because I think everybody in life thinks that the external things will make them happy. If I move to Dubai, I'll be happy. England always rains. I want to go and move to Dubai. But wherever you go, there you are. And I think that's a really powerful quote, that you can't escape the realities of your mind. And happiness is not a state of, you know, owning material things. It's just a state of mind, is a way of viewing the world and viewing yourself within it. Like, what do we really need to be happy? Like, if we broke our leg and we were bedbound, the thing that would make us the happiest is if we could walk. But yet we all get up and walk every day and don't think anything of it. How often do we say, thank you, universe, for letting me walk? Because it's one of our most fundamental things that we need to do. And yet if that was taken away from us, how unhappy would we be? So I choose to look at the little things that mean a lot. And all the other stuff, it just comes and goes. So with Lara, I've chosen to be present, value my time with her. I'm probably more present and spend more time with her than most fathers in a marriage would do, because I know I only have a half the week. So it has to count. And seeing her face, seeing her smile, you know, I remember the other day, we went to a party and she had been dancing and taking her shoes off, and it came back late at night, and I washed her feet in the shower and she giggled and laughed, and it's hearing that sound, I was like, what more do you really need from life than to know that moment of pure happiness? That's what it's all about.
You know, they say children inherit different types of personality traits from their parents. What bits of yourself do you see in Lara?
I think Lara's very creative. She's very creative. She's very artistic. She's got an amazing voice, which I think she's probably got from her uncle. very creative, very sensitive, very sensitive. She likes to watch and listen and observe. She is strong. She's independent. She's come to terms of being a single child in a family that's no longer a single unit, which I give her credit for. And it's funny, I think a lot of times when people have children, they think it's the children that need the parents. But a lot of the times the parents that need the children, because we learn off them so much. And she's constantly reminding me of stuff, of whether I look good, of whether I've said something wrong. She's no longer a child, she's her own person. You know, we can go and hang out together and have fun, do stuff. And it's beautiful to see that even though she's not in a conventional, you know, husband and wife, child unit, she's still thriving.
I think for me, this project is really about inspiring hope. I think there's going to be a lot of parents, single parents watching this, and they're going to be really curious about how people are thriving and surviving. And one of the things I'm looking forward to most is getting those top tips from these single dads. How are they operating now? What's helped them in their life? And what's their advice to other parents, you know, who are maybe struggling? If you had to sum up really simply, and I know it's a complicated subject, but what would you say fundamentally has allowed you to thrive and not give up on parenting and really, really embrace it and really push forward and not worry too much about the past, but really be present and think about the future?
I think there's a number of things. One is knowing that if you have separated and it's final from your partner, that life no longer exists. That's gone. And coming to peace with and allowing that to go. Allowing it to like drift away and saying, okay, I'm at peace with you, with that life no longer being part of mine. I think that's fundamental, because if we try to hold on to something that no longer is, we can no longer move forward.
Well, let me ask you a question on that. Does the pain get less? Because if it's something that's fresh, that's just happened, someone's parted from their partner, they're probably holding so much trauma and pain. But would you say a couple of years in, it's got slightly easier? And is there a process involved in that?
I think that depends on the individual. And like I was saying before, it's down to how you view the situation. I think coming to peace with it and understanding that there's nothing you can do to change what's happened. And the universe wasn't conspiring against you. No one's punishing you. Stuff happens in life, good stuff and bad stuff. And I've always believed in balance. In the universe and the way we live, it's all about balance. So I truly believe that if something bad has happened, something good will happen of equal measure. And I also believe sometimes we tend to think of all the negatives. My life, I'm a single parent. Oh no, my life's going to be so bad. But you can also think, I'm a single parent. I'm building a whole new life. Life could be amazing. And I think that mindset of looking for opportunities to make your life more amazing rather than looking for situations which will reaffirm that your life is no longer good is your own choice. And that's what I chose to do. Life is amazing. Am I still alive? Yes. Is my daughter healthy and happy? Yes. Then what more could you ask for? All we ever want as parents is for our child to be healthy and to be here with us. We have that. So the rest is now your choice as an adult to how you're going to handle it. And one thing I've read from Deepak Chopra, which really helped me, was replace old memories with new memories. So move forward. Don't hold on to the old memories. Yes, they're going to be there. We're not robots that can, wipe our hard drive, but come to peace with that. Create new memories. Do something fun. Reinvent yourself. Take up a new hobby. Do something that you never thought you would ever do. Expose yourself to uncomfortable situations, which I think is really important. Don't hide behind a safety net of family and friends and try to protect yourself. Expose yourself to situations which you would be uncomfortable in, because in that you will find strength, and you'll probably walk away and think, wow, I did that. And you do that repeatedly, then you just think you're unstoppable, and tell yourself you're unstoppable. Tell everybody you feel you're amazing and you're confident and you look good, because a lot of it is what you're telling yourself. It doesn't matter if they think it or not. And people's opinions of you don't really matter, but it's what you tell yourself. And I choose to look at myself in the mirror every morning and say, I'm proud of myself. And that's a true thing. And if you can wake up and feel like that, then the rest of the day is going to be amazing.
You've just developed so much. Like, I honestly couldn't be more proud. The bravery, kindness, talent you've got is prospering. And, you know, I didn't know how you were going to cope, if I was honest. I really didn't know, but you've amazed me. And as your business partner, your cousin, your best friend, I'm privileged and I'm just so proud. So in a minute, we're going to get into the shooting. You are officially dad number one. I'm going to be taking some portraits of you. How are you feeling about that?
I think it's going to be interesting. I don't actually like being in front of the camera.
Your Instagram says otherwise.
Despite what people think on my Instagram. But, you know, what I want from this project is I want people just to look at these images and say, look, Naroop's put himself out there. And someone said to me recently that my greatest work will be done from showing my vulnerability and my weaknesses. And I think a lot of the time we try to hide behind the things that we're scared of, build walls, protect ourselves. But really, people appreciate vulnerability because everyone's got stuff that they're hurting from, that they're scared of, that they don't want to expose. But it's so liberating to say, this is me, man. You know, this is what you get. Check me out. And then the other person probably do the same. So I'm happy to do that and I want to do that. And I really hope that this project and what we are creating will, even if it affects one dad in a positive way, is good work.